Hi, David.
Hello, Sai. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing well. Thanks for having me on your show.
Thank you for accepting my invitation and accepting to talk with me.
Absolutely. Happy to help in any way.
Thank you, sir. So I've gone through your profile and I thought to tell about you and your experience to my audience and to the world who watches and who listens to you on podcast and my YouTube channel.
Great.
So can you please introduce yourself to my audience?
Yes, I'm David Leveille. I'm the president of Crush Networks Incorporated, and I've been doing systems integration work for over 25 years. And our company is headquartered in Boise, Idaho, USA, but we have branch offices in Los Angeles, California, and Cabo San Lucas, Mexico.
So presently you are working in Crush Networks as a president.
Yes.
So can you tell about your role and the responsibilities of yours?
Yes, I'm happy to do so. What I do is I'm an evangelist for the company. I go out and meet people and network and help close business with, we have several people here at the office, and um, I do a lot of office management tasks, and I do a lot of reporting to the board of directors, and I'm responsible for making sure that everybody gets paid on time.
So you are into IT from last 21 years.
25, 30, almost 29 years now. 29 years, yes.
So I want to ask questions which are not related to IT.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, because I want to know you as a human being.
Okay.
Other than IT, what do you say about yourself as a human being?
Oh, great question. So I'm very compassionate. I have empathy. I like to listen more than I like to talk. Um, I'm a I'm a great friend to many people. I have a lot of acquaintances, but I also have a lot of friends. And I think it's important to be there when people want to celebrate or when they're sad. And I also think that I'm fair. And what I mean by that is, like, if someone has done something wrong against me or somebody I know or love, I'm willing to understand and to listen and to have empathy, but I, I think it's important to give everybody a chance. I think that's very important. In fact, I wouldn't probably be the president of the company if somebody didn't take a chance on me. I was attending a technical conference, and somebody invited me to speak, and I'm okay speaking in public. That doesn't scare me, but there weren't a lot of people in the room, but they gave me a chance to speak, and um, it just took off from there. But other things about me, I like to skateboard. I like to have fun. I like to go out. I also like to stay home and watch movies and go to the beach and travel. And I work on cars, lots of cars. I have quite a few cars. And lately I've been doing sports things. In fact, for Father's Day, my wife gave me a underwater camera. So we're gonna try that next week.
Awesome. So what do you think that is working for you and that is making you to wake up in the morning and do great things?
That's a good question. Well, I've been married for a long time, 24 years, and I have, a wife who I need to provide for. I also have four wonderful children, and all four of them are no longer at home, but I still love them and care about them very much. And I think it's important that I feel like it's my duty, my honor, my responsibility to provide for my family, probably until the day I die. So I'm going to keep doing that and be a good example of that. And, um, my parents are alive and they're a little bit older, and occasionally they need some help. So it's important to take care of yourself so you can take care of your parents as well. So that's what's happening in my life right now.
So you're a public speaker, and you're a good observer. You're a good listener, and you're into this field for a long time. And I want you to tell me in this long experience of yours, what do you say about the human connections, the human? You already working in computer related networks. So what do you say about human networks, human connections? In recent times I wrote in my blog saying that if you understand human relations, if you understand human connectivity, if you understand the understanding thing in between human beings, you can understand IT better. So how you relate this human psychology and computer psychology?
Oh, thank you. That's a good question. what I what I do know is that the people who are willing to connect with other people, the extroverts or the introverts who have trained themselves to interact with other people, they do much better in information technology. They get, I would say, they probably get the higher pay, they get the better jobs, and it also causes you to stand out in front of your competition. Um, that can be good and bad. I mean, if you stand out for bad things, then people won't want to do business with you. But if you stand out for good things, people will want to hear about you and know about you. And I think it is extremely important to help make the world a better place as well as make money and provide for your family. And that's why we, as a company, are often involved with, food banks and emergency services, and helping to volunteer wherever we can, and donating to the Women and Children's Alliance or the food banks, and just being involved with the community. I think that is so important. And I have found that all of my business has come from word of mouth, meaning they've heard about me by either seeing me or somebody else has seen me and they want to learn more and they want to do business with me. I've never gotten any business from my website. I think the website is fine, and we have started to send emails out. But what's important is being involved in the community, whether it's the technical community or not, because there's people that own all types of businesses: airlines, banks, financial services, law offices, manufacturing, healthcare, life sciences. These are big multinational companies. And those people are also out in the community doing good and sponsoring events and helping to fundraise and donating their time. And if you're working with those people, there's a chance that you might talk about business. And there's a chance that it might not happen right away, but maybe in 3 years from now, they could come to you and give you a big contract with a lot of money. But that's not the reason that I do it or that we do it as a company. We just like to do good because doing good is good to do. And it's good for businesses also. And thank you for the question.
And what do you think that is working for you to be happy all the time?
Well, it is easier for me. being married a long time really helps. It is, I see a lot of friends who are struggling, who um, are struggling in their marriage, and we all struggle, or people who decide not to stay married and then have troubles, or maybe they didn't decide, maybe somebody in the family, died or something like that, which I've known 3 people in the last 2 years where that has happened. So um, I think doing as best as I can to involve my wife and spend time with her makes it less stressful and more happy. Um, I also think that the things that I like change over time. I enjoy, you know, working on cars and buying cars and being in car shows and, being in parades. I enjoy doing those things outside of work. I also, every day I just go on a little walk, even if it's around the block here. The weather is beautiful, and just getting out and talking to people, I think is very helpful. Also, I should say that when I go to a technical conference, whether or not I'm speaking at it or not, I spend many hours, 12 to 14 hours a day, just talking with other people. Maybe we'll do business together, maybe we won't, but it's important to network. And I can't emphasize that enough, that networking is great for business. But you asked what keeps me happy, and I would say that, being married and, having wonderful children and terrific parents. It all takes work, but I think that family is probably the number one reason why I wake up happy.
Awesome. So, tell me about a particular experience in your life which you cannot forget, the great experience.
Sure. Recently, I was in La Paz, Mexico, with my friend Joel Olson, who also does SharePoint and Microsoft Teams. We've both worked in technology in the Microsoft space for a long time, and we were in La Paz, Mexico, and we went on a boat and looked around for 3 hours, and then we found whale sharks, which are very large animals, and the water wasn't very deep. It was about, I don't know, 30 feet deep, but these whale sharks are 40 feet long at least. And being in the water with them, at first it's very frightening. I've never swam with a shark before, but it is a very big creature. But jumping in the water and then getting over the fear, and then it turns into excitement, and then you don't want it to stop. It is so much fun, but they're very big and they swim fast, so you have to pedal really hard just because they're so big. And being next to them when their tail in the back is so big and they're so long, I've never had an experience like that before, and it changed me quite a bit. I felt very small. That was very exciting.
Wow. So, so you are into industry for from long time, right? So have you ever thought to write a book on about the complete experience of your? It can be a technical or non-technical.
So I'm not very passionate about writing, especially technical writing. I get asked to do it a lot. I've been asked to work on book projects with other people. And while my dad is a writer and he is an author and he's has several published works, I'm not passionate about it. So I don't know. Every once in a while, I think that I think the things that I've done in my life are pretty exciting and neat, but I don't know that other people would find them that way. And I guess I look at a lot of things these days with the return on investment. So, for example, there's only a small amount of time every day that I have that is completely to myself. And I think that if I sat down and started to write a book, or if I blogged, for example, I don't know. I think that would be a little bit selfish with my time. I think there's other people and other things that are more important, but I based on what I've seen other people do when they write books, is I don't know of anybody who's making a lot of money just publishing books. Usually they have to do courses and tours and book signings and posters and a lot of other things for 2 or 3 years. And then eventually they might make some money. But I haven't been close with anyone who has been very successful at that. Um, I have read a lot of books, mostly business books and technical books, um, but I'm not a fiction guy. I like real life stories. I don't like pretend.
But if you decide to write your own story or your own experience, if you decide one day, I'm sure if it comes out, a lot of minds, young minds from different parts of the world, definitely it gets, you will create impact because of the experience that you have, because of the knowledge, the huge knowledge that you have, and it will be useful for a lot of people. It will help them in uh, doing uh, uh, doing things which they didn't did. They will get inspired from your story.
That's a good point. I appreciate that. Uh, I don't. I do better inspiring others when I meet with them in person than I think reading a book. I'll say it that way.
So tell me about you as a senior software architect. How was it?
Uh, so what that means is that Microsoft and other companies I've worked for, what they do is they have solutions that are already in place, like Microsoft Exchange Server and Lotus Notes and SharePoint, and they have some custom made solution that they need to talk to these systems. And as an architect, your job is to figure out which systems need to talk to which, where you're going to store stuff, information, data, and what your business continuity plan is, and your backup and recovery process will be, and how best to have all those systems talk with each other and do the systems integration. So that job usually entails flying out to meet a customer and being able to put together a presentation and to be a consultant and ask them technical questions. You have to work with other people. It's usually not the person that hired you that you're working with. And then you have to write down what it is that you are going to do, and you have to plan and prepare and diagram and do technical writing and talk about the governance and information policies and access. You kind of have to know everything, a little bit about everything, because what you don't want to have happen is have the customer say, okay, I really like your proposal. I like your idea. Let's go ahead and do it. And then they say, I want you to be the architect on the project. Will you please keep working for us? And then if you don't know what you're talking about, or if you don't know if what you put together is even possible, then you're going to be in a lot of trouble, because then you've, sold yourself to this customer who's willing to pay you a lot of money, but you can't do the work. So it's important that you that you partner with other professionals on your team or external. And in order to do that, you have to have technical knowledge. But one thing that I will say is that, having seen so many systems in so many different languages and so many different platforms, is that there is a pattern in practice that you can follow. And I mean, no two projects are the same, but they are all very similar, and the same questions need to be answered usually. And the key is to document everything. So you asked what it was like. It's fast paced, it's stressful, but it pays well, and the bonuses at the end are amazing if you're working for another consulting firm. Um, and you get the opportunity to work with other people, project managers, developers, database administrators, infrastructure, cybersecurity, sales, marketing might want a case study, management, and then of course everybody on their team knows how to call you if they have any questions. So it's a big job. It takes a lot of responsibility, and you have to be very professional. You have to dress a certain way. You have to know your stuff. But most important of all is you have to be the smartest person in the room. And when somebody asks you something that you don't know the answer for, it's important that you're honest and say, I don't know how long it's going to take to migrate your Lotus Domino application to SharePoint Online, but I'm going to get with my team and I'll have you the answer in a day or two. And customers appreciate the honesty, because, you may have never done that before, and you don't want to overpromise and overcommit your team to finish something, or to commit to how many hours it will take without talking to them first. Because even if something takes 40 hours to do, they might have another big project and they're not able to get to it for another month. So it's important to have that communication.
So you as a senior consultant, you
I
worked
have
as a senior consultant. Yeah, you worked as a senior consultant. So how was that? You worked for 3 years.
Yes, I mean, what happens is usually with me, I work on a project or in a role for, 3 years or more, and then another opportunity comes up. So senior consultant, what that means is that your boss feels comfortable enough to send you out on projects in front of the customer without there needing to be anybody else there. And it also is a classification for a consultant who might go with a director or the vice president of IT or of the consulting practice. But usually that's, you're doing you're doing great work independently. And as a senior consultant, travel is always expected. You are not going to be able to sit behind a desk alone and never interact with the customer. Now, as a senior consultant or as a principal consultant, you are very much expected to travel and be customer facing.
So how you are changing your roles? How was your experience coming from one to other?
Well, going from like a web development engineer and working your way up to a consultant, that's a different change because as an engineer or somebody who is, involved with test or development, you're usually in the back of the office doing work in front of a computer and you aren't seeing the customer. But oftentimes you have to talk to the customer, and if you don't know how to talk to the customer in an appropriate way and to make them feel smart and not feel stupid, and to at least try to be their friend and get through the project together, then you're going to have challenges. And I think as you go from somebody who is in the back of the business to being the front of the business, meaning you go in front of the customer, for some people that's a difficult transition. And I happen to enjoy being customer facing. So, going from a web development engineer to a consultant to senior consultant, principal consultant, vice president of IT, director up to president is just a natural progression. Once you start getting in front of the customer and you learn about the business of running a business, the balance sheet, profit and loss, bonuses, payroll, profit margins. Once you start learning the finances of running a business, then your role changes and you do less managing of people and projects and more managing of the business and being responsible to make sure that everybody gets paid while still trying to have fun and be public speaking and networking with other people.
So you tell me, you as a communicator, in which medium you're good at? Writing, speaking, listening, understanding? Which one worked for you more, and which one made you sit in the position wherever you are today?
I take a lot of notes. I think what helped the most is that I'm a very fast typer. So I enjoy being in front of people and speaking the most because you can plan your talk and build your presentation. That might take you 2 or 3 hours to do, but then you only have to speak usually for an hour, and then you're done for the rest of the day and you can network. You don't have any other business meetings or anything like that. I also think that I enjoy taking notes from the meeting. Where I struggle is then taking the notes and turning them into action items. And I have other people on my team who help me with that because I'm good at taking everything people are saying literally and then translating that into a business requirement. I can't do as fast as other people can. So I enjoy having other people on the calls and they can figure out what the action items are, and then I have the notes to back it up. It's kind of strange. It's like I'm president of the company, but I'm also a secretary, if that makes sense. I'm the one who gets to buy Christmas presents for the employees. I'm the one who gets to do the fun things and make sure that people get paid and go on vacations and take care of my people.
I'm sure because of you, a lot of people got benefit and improved their skills and knowledge because of your presence and because of the energy that you are releasing from your body.
Thank you very much.
Right. So all these years, so how much do you think? How many people got impact because of you and because of your presence? Tell me about your contribution to this planet.
Oh, that's a terrific question. Well, I do donate my time and talents, so that includes, money. I donate to causes. We're involved with several nonprofit organizations. We've already talked about those. The Meridian Food Bank, the Idaho Food Bank, the San Diego Food Bank, Women and Children's Alliance, the Nazareth Orphanage in Tecate, Mexico. We're actively involved in giving back quite a bit. It's what we do, it's who we are, it's who we like to be. If someone doesn't think that that's a good use of time, then I really don't want to do business with them because we've been so blessed with so much, and it's important that we give back. I think it's just who I am. I wouldn't feel right. And you asked about the impact. Well, I do have lots of acquaintances. I would say, like you, I have a lot of social media followers. I think right now I'm somewhere around 20,000 or so. But, a lot of those are just acquaintances. I don't think they would come to my funeral or anything like that. But I would say that I probably have 500 or more friends who I know I could pick up the phone and call and say, either help or I'm having a party or just how are you doing? And I think they would be there for me. At least I like to think that they would be there for me. I do what I can, and I think that that's good. I think I sleep very good at night. I'm not afraid of anything, and life has been good to me, and I think it's, yeah, the impact, I really don't know the impact. Um, I'm in no way perfect. I'm sure I know I've hurt people along the way, but it's important to forgive yourself and to forgive others and to grow and learn. And hey, I'm 50 years old and I'm still alive and I'm still happy and I'm still trying to make the world a better place one day at a time. So,
So tell me about you as a time manager.
oh, that's a good question. So, I'm really good at creating lists of things to do and checklists. I typically put things in my calendar way in advance. I also block out time to do certain things. But my calendar is usually pretty full with customer meetings and important other things. And I meet with people in person often, and I travel quite a bit. So, not as much as I used to, just because customers don't really want you to visit as much anymore. But I like being in front of the customers. Um, yeah, I yeah, sorry, I don't have more to give you for that answer.
So you said you love traveling, and tell me about where you traveled in your life.
Oh, well, I've been to, I think, all the United States now, except for Alaska. Um, I'm going to go to Puerto Rico in December. Um, and I've been traveling lately to Mexico a lot, and I'm going to go again this month. and next month and next month. No, I'm going to skip September, but I'll be there in October and November. So I enjoy going there quite a bit. I love the people and the culture. They're very nice. A lot of love. They're they're just very sweet people. I love the Latin culture. If you get a chance, you should go. And it's a much slower, relaxed pace versus being in Los Angeles or San Diego or Boise or it's just I just think the people are very nice. I think there's a lot more nice people. um, I've been to Canada a few times, but I'll be in Ireland in September, and I'm going to many places in December, the Caribbean islands. I think I'm going to 9 of them, so I'll be pretty busy, and hopefully that's relaxing and fun.
So, what kind of food you prefer to eat?
Oh, I like homemade, delicious food with spices, not spicy hot, but just spices, flavor. I like flavorful food. Um, Honestly, I like I like sushi and I like Indian food the best. I could eat it probably all the time. So I like seafood. I mean, I do like steak and other meat, but I I really like flavorful, delicious food.
So I saw you doing. I mean, I came to know about your experience. Now you're a president. Before that, you are a board member, speaker, president of in Southern California um Office 365, and yeah, all these. I mean, and I have gone through your education also. You studied in University of Washington, bachelor's degree in 1991, which was long back.
Yes.
And you worked as a owner. I mean, you are a owner of Leveille Consulting, and yeah, you are into SharePoint subject matter expert. So all this, like completely, one is different from other. So what is
So
the common thing that you say? If I ask you the common one.
these are all positions where I'm involved with other people, where there's human connections. I am still a board member of the International Association of Microsoft Channel Partners. I am still on the organizing committee for the Southern California Office 365 user group or Microsoft 365. And I'm also involved with the Microsoft 365 Baja California group, and I do things with various Latin America technology groups. And I also own other businesses that aren't in technology that are for real estate purposes. um, but what they all have in common is that I'm involved with other people. It gives me some time every week to donate my skills and my time to an organization. The Southern California Office 365 user group, we meet every month and we have speakers who we invite in or who ask to come speak. And that's been great because I get to see my friends and talk to them all the time, and I get to see people from around the world come in and speak. And I'm also the treasurer of the International Association of Microsoft Channel Partners, and I have a lot more meetings with that group. But as treasurer, that means you're also a board member. So I'm involved with the finances of that group. I have, I've been vice president. I've been asked to be the president a few times. So We'll see. It just takes a lot of time, but I enjoy seeing my friends and help out and give back and organizing meetings and training people and educating others and spreading the word and having fun. We do fun things too. It isn't always business meetings.
So, you are always into communicating with people and interacting with people and talking with them. Can I say you understand human psychology better?
I haven't really thought of that before. Um, I don't know that I do. All I know is that I like working with people and talking with people. So
So, what worked for you?
I think I think it's important that instead of sitting at home wondering why you don't have friends or why nobody calls you, I think it's important to go out and be a friend. Call people, send emails, send them a text. Just let them know how you're doing. So instead of wondering how come, you know, anytime you think, how come people don't like me or how come I don't have more friends? I think it's important that you just stop that thinking and go outside and meet somebody or pick up the phone or send a text or shoot an email. And I mean, some people set aside, a half hour every day to do that. And I find that I get so many direct messages on social media and emails every day and text messages that there's no question that I have friends. I think people want to know how I'm doing and I want to know how they're doing. And I want to get together with them and I want to have fun with them and I want to help them grow their business. And, if it happens that they have business for me, that's great, but that isn't the reason. I'd still be their friends even if we didn't do business. And I think that's important. I think it's very important to have friends because work is going to come and go. Jobs are going to come and go. Someday you might not even want to go on YouTube anymore, but it's important that you have the relationships in place to sustain you and to build you up and to carry you when the times are hard. And frankly, that's the reason why I created my show on LinkedIn, the Virtual Water Cooler, was because I put a survey out on social media. I asked people how they were doing just on a survey online, and most people responded that they weren't doing well. And I thought, well, that's kind of funny. Maybe they're just joking with me. But I set up the show so I could talk to people to see if it was true or not, and it is true. There's a lot of people that aren't doing well right now. And I put together the show to just so I could talk to them and make them feel better. And then other people wanted to be on the show and just talk. And now we've done 100 episodes in like 3 months. It's been very busy. 4 months, I think. Yeah.
So, what is this virtual water cooler?
So I just put that together as a platform to be able to have people talk about life and business and partnering. Mostly it's Microsoft partners like me, and but what I've found is that IT people don't engage much on social media, and most of the people that watch my show are directors or vice presidents, or they tend to be very busy people. So they watch the show, but they might not like it or comment or share, but I know they're watching it because I have just a lot of views. Let's just put it that way. A lot of people are watching it. And, occasionally I hear from people that, they love it, to keep it up, or I can't believe you had them on your show. That's great. Or I love what you're doing. I hope to be on your show sometime soon. Or how can I sit down and watch all of them all at once? I hear great things from the people that matter and that I care about. So I'm going to keep doing it. But I don't really care about the outcome. It's not to make money. I think it's just to, connect with my friends and meet new people. And in this digital world we live in, where people aren't supposed to be going outside, there's no better way to do it than just recording them here.
That's a great idea. You're going. You did 100 episodes, and it's amazing. You interacted with 100 different people.
Thank you. It's been a lot of work.
So, at last, any good words to the world who is watching and listening to you right now?
Yes, be sure that you like, share, and subscribe to Sai's channel here on YouTube for sure. And I think it's important that in the world that you just send good things out. You do good things for others, and you will benefit greatly from it, whether it's your mental health and happiness, or it's your business relationships, or it's having money in the bank and not worrying about finances. I mean, it takes a lot of work, but if if you spend 40 hours a month volunteering and donating and trying to make the world a better place, and people see what you're doing, and you meet other people that are like that, who are also generous with their time, those are the people that you probably want to do business with, right? No matter what it is, if you're really passionate about, you know, giving back and making the world a better place, you'll find other people will like that about you. And maybe it'll turn into a job. Maybe it'll turn into business. Maybe it'll turn into a trip around the world with somebody you never even knew a month ago. You never know what can happen. And you'll sleep good at night knowing that you're making the world a better place, and you'll attract those same type of friends. I think it's more important to have good relationships with other people than it is to be successful in business when you first start out. I think networking is the key. Building relationships when you're young and getting used to being in front of a group of people and asking people about them instead of talking about yourself. And, maybe 1 out of 10 of your friends will end up becoming a lifelong friend. And I think it's more important to be surrounded with great people who love you and who you love than it is to have $1 million. And that's sort of the problem with money, is once you get $1 million, you're going to want $10 million, and then you're going to want $100 million. It won't stop. It never does. And when people get money, they tend to spend it just as fast as they get it. So I think it's important to think long term and to build a legacy, to make sure that you are, you know, debt free and have money in the bank. And for me, the way to do that is to live within my means and to network and grow with others and to be kind and be a friend to everyone you meet. And the business and your success will naturally come, honestly. Thank you for asking, Sai. Appreciate it.
That's really great words. I'm sure my college lecturers, professors, and people who are connected with me will know this. Not only from India, from all over the world will connect with what you said now. I'm sure they will implement in their lives, and there will be some change because of the words that you expressed. I'm sure, and I feel very happy that you know that you said something which is very very important for every human being, not only a person who works in a particular field. It is important for every human being who is living anywhere.
Yes. Thank you. Happy to help. Thank you for having me on the show. I love what you're doing. I've watched several episodes. I'm having fun. There, I think you're doing a great thing. You're going places. I just know it, Sai. I just know it.
So that's my last question. So what do you say about, you are into IT from long time, and you exchange words with a lot of people in your life, and you have seen a lot of people, you have a lot of observations in your mind. So what do you say about my work, me talking with different kind of people who are into different professions? I'm an IT guy, but I'm not into nutrition. I'm not into police department. I'm not into uh, uh, MBBS, or it's completely different subjects. What do you think? How it helps for me, and what are your words about my work?
Well, what I know is that you're giving your time and talents, you're giving back, you're trying to make the world a better place, you're helping to lift up other people in your community and your followers and around the world, people that just stumble across your show. I think that what you're going to find is that there are people who are going to want to do business with you because of it, and it might take time, but if you just keep doing what you're doing and let people know that you're available for work and that you're willing to learn and grow and change and get the certifications that they want you to get, that you're going to be that you're going to end up making way more money than I will ever see, because I think that people like you who are ambitious and who start um, YouTube channels and interact with other people, you're already learning a lot, but you're also giving back a lot, and that is not very common. So thank you for what you do. And the other exciting thing is, because you're talking with people around the world and they all have different jobs, as a IT consultant, you can say, I don't have the answer, but I did talk to this guy who, works in London, and I can give him a call and see if he can join our call and talk about it. Or you can say, hey, I haven't worked in law enforcement, but I have a lot of friends in law enforcement. So then you can reach out to them and find out. These relationships that you're making with people are going to help you in your career in ways that you never expect. I mean, that's the value added that people get when they hire me, is that if I don't have the answer, like if somebody says, hey, there's this problem I'm having with some piece of Microsoft software, I can quickly go to my phone and text somebody. I can text you know, the corporate vice president. If somebody says I'm having problems with, partnering with Microsoft, I happen to know, the corporate vice president of that organization as well. I mean, if somebody has problems with OneDrive, SharePoint, Teams, or the partner program, I've got them all in my phone, and I can call them, I can text them, I can get answers. And that, because they're friends and they're people that have been there for me and I've been there for them, And, you know, we talk about life, we talk about kids. I think those relationships, you can't put a dollar amount on that, but in my opinion, it makes my job easier knowing that there are other professionals that I can call and who can help me out, and that they can call me if they have a question or if they need help with something. You know, we don't charge each other for that, but we do take each other to dinner and stuff when we see each other in person. It all works out. We're all friends. I think that's important. And the other piece of advice I would give is that, you know, there are going to be people that have more money than you, and there are people that have less money than you. And so if you go out to eat with them, or go get a mango lassi or something, don't keep track of who is paying. Please don't do that. If you have to keep track of who owes who money for doing something nice, then you're really not a friend. Just offer to pay sometimes and have them pay sometimes, and it really doesn't matter. What's more important is the friendship. So take your friends out to dinner. Maybe they will never take you out to eat. Invite them over to your house for dinner, but maybe they'll never invite you over to theirs. Just go out being a friend, and you're going to find that you have a lot of friends. That I think that's way more important than business, in my opinion.
So your valuable words and valuable information helps a lot of people who are watching this, and also especially me. I will keep all the words that you said in my mind, and I will implement it whenever the situation comes. And I'm sure that works for me. So thank you very much, sir, President, sir, for giving me your valuable time and spending your valuable experience with my audience and to the world who is watching this and listening to this on podcast or on YouTube.
Terrific. Thanks again for your time. I appreciate being on the show, Si.